Everyone, welcome to my kitchen. You are back in the kitchen with KK. I am Kimberly Knox, and if you've heard my videos before, you know I'm a passionate health coach. I'm an author of the book called Simple Cooking for Vitality and an educator. This is part of my education and my passion to help reverse. We've got a chronic disease epidemic in this country, chronic obesity, chronic disease, metabolic health is really devastated and broken. And my mission is to get us back into the kitchen, take back the control of your health because it's really easy. I learned how easy it was 12 years ago. And take back that control so that you can have a vital health and longevity for a very long time. And we're just going to do that with whole foods. Very simple. What am I holding here? I'm holding a kombucha squash or kombucha squash. So it's a little bit ugly, right? A little interesting looking. It's a little different than the squashes you normally see. I have several recipes in my cookbook for things with either spaghetti squash or acorn squash. We in Vermont grew Hubbard squash. This is very similar. It's similar to a Hubbard. It's a little sweeter than a Hubbard, but we're celebrating late summer health. Late summer health picks up spleen and stomach. It is an earth season. We need to nourish the body. Nourishment comes from more warming foods after the summer of those cooling foods, eating lighter. It's still pretty warm here in Florida. However, we're staying in the flow of the season. We're building nourishment, and squashes have a ridiculous amount, if they're orange, of beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A. Beautiful skin, beautiful glowing eyes. We need it for preventing macular degeneration. Vitamin A is created in our liver as it converts beta-carotene. So we want to make sure we're getting those root veggies. And that is some of the foods of late summer. We're getting those squashes in, sprouted lentils, root vegetables, steamed vegetables, more warming food, because earth is about nourishment. We're nourishing things that we've been growing to get us ready for the fall, which is a big coming out time. That's the harvest time. We're also nourishing our immune system prior to the typical start of flu season, right? Our immune system must be nourished. Your immune system is what saves you, nothing else. We need to perk that up, and the cells need the tools to do that. And those micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals, that is part of it. So this kombucha squash, what we're going to do is we're going to get it set up. We're going to be putting it in the oven. We're going to be roasting it. So I cook it in the oven at 400 for about an hour. So this is how we prepare it though. We need to stuff some holes in it. So get a sharp paring knife and jab some holes in. And that way, when it's cooking, it's not going to explode. Some of the steam can come out of it. So just be careful you don't stab your hand. That would not be good on film, but I've done this many times. So this is good. Get your little paring knife. Now, coconut oil. I like to grease it up. I always keep this because I'm using this a lot. So I always keep out my little brush and one of the spoon holders here. So we're just going to grease this up. Actually, let's get it onto the pan. This is a half sheet with parchment paper. Parchment paper just helps the cleanup, making sure that you're not touching too much metal. I use it to protect from using too much aluminum foil. We have plenty of aluminum from the air, from chemtrails, from many things, and we don't need any more heavy metals. So the oven just blinked, it is ready. So we're just gonna grease this up, and I put this in whole. I might need to adjust the oven racks. I forgot because this is a little bit high. So let's check that out. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is just move this up one notch. I'm gonna put it right in the center. 1 hour, we'll be back, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is when you roast the whole thing. It's gonna cut off the top. We're gonna easily scoop out the seeds, and we're gonna transfer it to either a food processor or you can whip it with a hand beater. And it makes the most delicious side item. It is naturally sweet, fantastic. You don't need to add much else to it. easy start, and we'll be back when that is done. Okay, guys, the buzzer has gone off. Let's get this squash out. It's sizzling, it's puffy, smells amazing. So again, squashes for the fall. The nutrients that you have in here, the vitamins and minerals, you're going to get iron. You're going to get lots of potassium. We need potassium every day. And some ways that I get potassium through bananas, through coconut water, through aloe juice. But these are fantastic. Also fiber. We need fiber. We're loading up the nutrients for the seasonal organs that are coming in the fall, which is our lungs and our colon. We must keep our elimination moving, which is really important, but we have to consider the organs of the next season as we're moving into them. We're coming out of heart and small intestine. In late summer, we're in spleen and stomach. This is very energetic time. So my book, Cookbook, Simple Cooking for Vitality, is all about that bioenergetic capacity of food. And in no more time of the season is energy so important. Is this season, late summer, when we're nourishing. So the fiber, it also creates satiety in the body. It makes you feel fuller. It helps you with your digestion and elimination. Those are very important things. Feeds your gut microbiome. As soon as you shift your food, you're shifting your good microbiome. You're helping good bacteria to grow and the bad to die off as we're not feeding it so much sugar. Speaking of sugar, the immune system coming up and fall season where there tends to be more influenza around. What you need to consider is that just 1 teaspoon of sugar will dampen your immune system. So the spleen likes natural sweetness from nature's carbs, fruits, squashes, things like that, sweet potatoes. So we also have to understand that the standard American diet has been killing off the spleen, dampening our immune system. So we really do need to take control. And this is where we can do it, in the kitchen. And we have the ability to make foods you're not going to see. You see how this has gone down a little bit since we've been sitting here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a sharp, long knife. Make sure it's long enough to cut all the way through. And we're just going to cut the head off. We're going to scoop this out, but we're going to let it cool a little bit after we open it up. And now we're opening it up. You see how nice and beautiful this is. And that was a perfect cut, because what you want to do is get right to where the seeds are. And we're going to be scooping out the seeds and putting them in some of my, remember, make sure you're getting these stainless steel prep bowls, lightweight, easy to clean, perfect for preparation. Nothing will break if it falls on the ground. Okay, so we're just going to set the little head over there. Now, we could let this cool. I've done this many times, so we can do it. We're going to let it cool after I take the seeds out. But you just use a spoon and gently go around the edges. If you've ever done jack-o'-lanterns growing up, you know this is the way we did it. We scooped out the seeds with a sharp-edged spoon. So have your little prep bowl here. If you like, you can manage to get these seeds out and dry them if you really want to. Salt them and dry them and bake them. It's kind of a lot of work. You've got to weed out all of the juicy part here. So it's just a matter of getting out all the filling with the seeds. If there's any big chunks, we can save those for the blending. So got just about all of this. Okay, so I'm going to clean up while this cools, and I do recommend before you put it into your food processor or you scoop it out so you don't get burnt, or put it in a bowl and you can use hand beaters. That you let it cool just a little bit. We've got the seeds out. It's steamy. And you're going to want to get out. I'm not going to be using organic grass-fed butter in this, but you can put a little butter in there. I like Ceylon cinnamon in mine. You don't need to add any sweetener to this. If you feel you need to, no more than 1 tablespoon of pure Vermont maple syrup. I prefer Vermont, but pure maple syrup would be a good addition to this for natural sweetness. It's already got natural sweetness. Remember, we do not want to overload the sugar part in our nature's carbs here. Isn't this beautiful? Vitamin C in here, iron. Now, vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. We have to get it in our body every single day. You're going to get it through greens. You're going to get it through a green smoothie. You're going to get it through green juices. You're going to get it through broccoli. So your vegetables are going to have this. This has it as well as iron, which is the molecule that helps move oxygen around. Hemoglobin need it. So this is what we need. We need real good, delicious food. You're not going to get Kabocha Squash in a restaurant. So get experimental. They have this always at Whole Foods. I don't know where you shop. Maybe they'll have it at Sprouts. Maybe they'll have it. I've never seen it at Fresh Market. I like to shop where they have an abundance of organic foods. Now, here in Florida, our market will be open. The growers will be back at the beginning of October, the first Saturday in October. And our growing season will go through April. So we're a little bit different, but check your local growers for a beautiful squash like this one. We'll be back. Okay, let's get this delicious squash into the food processor. It's a perfect side item. You can use it so many different ways. Put it in a prep container to bring to work. This is delicious to have at lunchtime. You can mix it with kombucha, the quinoa, like perfect for a side item for a salad. If you don't want to blend it up, you can cut it into chunks and put it into a salad. That's like a winter style of a salad. So it's very easy. All the skin peels right off. It's nice and cool now. So we can use our spoon just to transfer these pieces into the food processor to make it nice and smooth. But you see, you could cut these into chunks and add them to a salad with chickpeas and quinoa and asparagus tips. So fantastic. The amount of nutrients you get. Just make sure that's the end cap. Don't want that in there. So we're just scraping. Very easy to scrape this off once it's nice and cool. If there's any few little seeds left, if there's one right there, just get that out. So like I said, you can add some grass-fed butter to this. You can add a little bit of coconut oil. You can add a little bit of, to smooth it out, a little bit of avocado oil or olive oil. If you're making it fully vegan, you would use one of those last 2 options. So you see this, so easy, takes no time. And now the cap, similar. You can just take the skin right off, pull out the big pieces. You could add a little bit of almond milk to this. If you're okay with regular organic milk, you could add a tiny bit. A little bit of coconut cream you can add to this. We might be getting a little bit too much in here, but this will blend down. We'll just want to use one of our little spatulas to help it out. This is a little rough, so we'll leave that out. So we just set this aside. Let's get the cover. Put on my cinnamon, because I just love, you don't have to add the cinnamon, but it's delicious. So it gives it a spiciness and a sweetness. So you don't have to add any extra sugar. These are really great anytime you're using, whoops, not plugged in, anytime you're using the food processor. So you're ready in no time. Food processors are so handy. You use it so often. So the bottom is already nice and creamy. We're just going to mix in these chunks so the blades will grab it all. Nice and easy. Smells so good. So this is big enough that if you wanted to do half of it as a squash, blend it up as a side item and half chopped up, that's perfect. Because every time you do something in the kitchen, you should be thinking about my next meal and meal containers. So I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk to this. I love my milk, my malt milk, and it is a very clean almond milk with just simple 3 ingredients. This will help smooth it out a little bit. It's not quite as dry as Hubbard squash, but it's a little bit drier. But it's a lot more naturally sweet than butternut squash. There we go. Oh, fantastic. So in no time, we have amazing squash. We're going to put this into a bowl and you're going to be able to top a little bit more cinnamon on top. Let's just give this a taste. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. It doesn't even need any sugar. It is naturally sweet. That's why we love this so much. It is just creamy and amazing. So can you make muffins out of this? Yes. Can you make desserts? Just don't over sugar it. This is fantastic. The amount of vitamin A and beta carotene, potassium, iron, vitamin C you're getting from this is outrageous. And it's exactly what our cells need for longevity to do the job they're meant to do, to make you feel your best. So thanks for tuning in. If you love what I do here, give me a thumbs up. Please share my videos with people that you think will love them. Like share them on your Facebook page. It's a lot of work, but I am committed to educating and make cooking in the kitchen fun and interesting and delicious. Have a great night, everyone.